Hello internet friends, today we're going to review a song called Broken Dreams by XZERO. Nice name by the way. This is a rap song about slipping into and battling depression. I'm writing in a highly metaphorical way. Broken beams, the foundation of a house, the light inside that house, a smile. So the house is reflecting a person. The last verse is describing it as a poker round where the player needs one more card for a full house, but needs to go all GP, needs to go all in. Sorry, it was my mistake here. It needs to go all in and to take the chance. I am focusing mostly on lyricism in my music. I've only recently spent it focusing into the sonic aspect and a little bit more on the vibe. I usually don't give too much my opinion on lyrics. I would like to state that here before we dive in, because I'm more of a musician. I make music, I write music, I do mix and mastering for local artists. So I never been into writing music too much. I started playing guitar like 20 years ago. I'm 34, I started at 14. Then I moved to techno, electronic music, and electro, and that kind of stuff, so where you don't use too much lyrics. I never wrote too much of lyrics, actually. I used to when I play in a punk rock band, but those lyrics were really dumb. So yeah, that's a little bit of a disclaimer here, because I will talk about what I feel identified with or whatever, but not too much on that aspect, because I'm not that an expert on that. I'm more of a musician guy, you know, more of an audio guy. I like to dabble into synths and stuff, sound design, that kind of stuff. But it's really interesting, the premise that we got here. So yeah, with that clear out of the way, I'm gonna grab my trusty headphones and let's give it a listen.
Should be gone, but still remaining. One big storm that just erase it. Standing strong, but the beams are breaking. Look inside, see it failing. Power down, and the backup's draining. One so bright, slowly fading. Shining light, but the beams are breaking.
Waking, acting, faking, laughing. Yeah, keep it up, but the truth I'm asking. Buffing, passing, blazing, rapping. Try to escape, but can find no exit. I'm in this wreck, it's a total mess. I look around, all I see is cracks. So I'm not in the club, I already dance with the devil, but in my head, but I keep the beam. Cause I'm an actor, cracking jokes and always laughing. Cause I know the truth, they don't care about crash until you hit the ground, then you finally end it. But I've been through this, so I may just handle the plane in a way where it slowly landed. And I get back up, restart the battle. This round 12 and I'm still standing.
There's a house where it's always raining. Ship to gone, but still remaining. One big storm that just erase it. Standing strong, but the beams are breaking. Look inside, see it failing. Power down, and the backup's draining. One so bright, slowly fading. Shining light, but the beams are breaking.
Such a wreck, with all the scars, keep a poker face or faking laughs. I check my deck and I play the part. Try to adapt and play it smart. Like a house of cards, it falls apart. Wish I could play again and just restart. Maybe all I need is a queen of hearts to hold it up before it falls. But these scars I'm holding, the good I know it. Know my turn and I can't be folded, but I might just pass it, cause I might just crash it. Wrong card, full house collapsing, but I keep improving, cause I give my best. Already broken, still won't crack. Build a legacy, I bet on rap. Gotta pay the price, here's a check.
There's a house where it's always raining. Should be gone, but still remaining. One big storm that just erase it. Standing strong, but the beams are breaking. Look inside, see it failing. Power down, and the backup's draining. One so bright, slowly fading. Shining light, but the beams are breaking. Yeah.
really nice track. I did really like the metaphor with the house. It's pretty nice, goes really well with the song. The song is kind of short. I like longer songs, but I understand that songs are getting shorter and shorter. But yeah, I do really like the beat. The beat is really well produced. The guitar sounds like sad and has this minor scale that make it feels like moody, and I do really like that. The sub bass is really nice. I like the vocals, the rapping, the vocals by Antonia Katinka are really nice. I did really like the female vocals because they are contrast with the rapping of XZERO. I do really like that. I feel like the female vocals are a little bit lower, the rapping is a little bit higher, probably balance that a little bit better would be nice. I did really like the lyrics, like the metaphor. Like I mentioned, I usually don't give my opinion too much on lyrics because I'm not a lyricist, but there is something that happens a lot with some rap artists and other genres too. Is like, I do really like that how they put the emotion of it, but there is also this thing when you want to say too much stuff, but it is hard to fit in the bar, in the timing of the song. There is, I think it was this part, I'm looking into the video here, when it says, but I've been through this so many, but I've been through this, so I made just handle. And I feel like it's like trying to fit like a lot on that bar and feels a little bit rushed. Maybe kill the word, but I've been through this too many times to handle, so you can fit better with the metric of the song, because sometimes there is another part what I felt this happened too, that is like trying to say too much but trying to fit it on a short space of time is like make it difficult to pronounce sometimes, or doesn't fit really well. It's like they're fighting with that, so cutting one word or two to make it fit better to the track, it's cool. But yeah, I understand that this track is trying to describe complex emotions, and it's putting out there the topic of depression, so it's something that needs to be talked about and talk more openly, and I do really admire that for putting that on the table. But yeah, be careful with that if we are going to talk more about the aspect of the music. But the message is, I support it, is really great on that sense. It's really cool how it was put together. So yeah, I'm focusing more a little bit on the aspect of the music, like trying to fit more on the metric, like being careful with that. But that is just nonsense when the message is the most important thing at the end of the day. But it's just my recommendation as someone who works on music. I like the track, I like I mentioned, but yeah, be careful a little bit with the balancing, and a little bit of that, probably a little bit more of EQ on the vocal to clean it up a little bit, because there were some, it's not that noticeable actually. I was having my dubs, but a little bit of plosive with the piece, with that, probably that is on the 200 hertz or something. I had a kind of time, a lot of time without working surgically on vocals, but yeah, be careful with that. A little bit of cut on that EQ here and there to clean it up. But like I mentioned, it's just technicalities and stuff that doesn't matter when the most important thing is the message. But yeah, those are my little recommendations. Did I like the track? Yeah. It's not a commercial, but it's touching on important topics, and I do really admire when artists are brave enough to put that on the table. So yeah, it's pretty cool to put that on the table. I'm reading here on the description of the video, and yeah, there is a lot of stigma around depression and depressive stuff, and I think too that it should be talked about more. There is a lot of people that will feel better if they don't feel alone, that they aren't the ones that are only happening, going through it, and there is more people having a hard time. They can come together and feel that they are not alone. So yeah, I like how this track put that on the table. Yeah, people aren't willing to talk about it, which is a huge mistake that I totally agree on that. We don't help people why not talking, so I decided to release Broken Beams EP, which contains songs just about that. I do really admire that, bro. That's pretty awesome, and I do really like that. So yeah, like I mentioned, I talk here about some technical stuff here and there, but the most important thing is the message, and that you're brave enough to put it out there. So yeah, take my recommendations with a little bit grain of salt. Like I mentioned, technical stuff is not like the most important thing out there, and it's all about the message, in my opinion. I'm just here to add a little bit of help with the music topic. That's what I like to do with my reviews, but yeah, I do really admire that. This was pretty nice. Thank you for sending it. It's nice to talk about this kind of stuff. It's nice to reflect on this kind of topic that should be put out there. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. It's just like, if you want to take my recommendations, you're welcome. And yeah, thank you for sending me this. It was pretty nice, and I do really like when we don't talk here just about music, but we can dive into other topics like this, and the visions of the artists and what they're putting on the table. And I do really like what you're doing with this. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it right here. Thank you for sending me this, and I hope to see you on another one. Bye.